Hello everyone, welcome back to the Precise Gaming Studio. Today I want to talk about Oil Grenade and Incinerate build. I've been running this build since New Year's and I didn't have too much time to play, so only get an end game. I think I'm a 93th level right now and only have a time to put up the guide right now. At the start, I want to talk about where I saw this build originally and how I get it started. Credit to the Chinese creator who created this. This is a video where I see it originally. I will paste it in the description. Why Witchhunter? So in the video, talk about this nice combo. The ascendency is Abyssal Lich, which is also very nice. But I didn't realize that. Oh, why not Witchhunter? The first reason is a passage tree. It's very close to the grenade node. And basically, I start to play this build after I think 30 something. After I have access to Oil Grenade, and I immediately change this. Really, all you need is those two skill, nothing more, and then your damage just go to the sky. So that's my first reason. Second is ascendency. There's a weapon master from Witchhunter, which I never try. I never try Witchhunter. But weapon master is you are allowed to have a total 2 different passive tree. The 2 passage tree will allow us to min-max the Oil Grenade and Incinerate separately, which fit with this build concept pretty well. Next, I want to talk about if you want to play this build, where to start. All you need is Oil Grenade and Incinerate. For Oil Grenade, you want to element of focus to make sure it won't ignite. And then I think it's really based on your preference. I put a more utility. So you can put, for example, this is the more damage. You can put short fuse. I really like short fuse because it really makes a difference. And you can see if I take it out, now that's smooth. And then this too is magnified areas in crouching ground is about AoE. That's why if I cast it, you can see it's girly just covered in hair screen. Next, Incinerate. For Incinerate, we have 5 skill gem, but really I think this one more damage, and this one is increased ignite chance, flammability. So this 3, the goal is make sure we start ignite faster, whereas this 2, this is ignite the magnitude, and this one ignite duration. This 2 directly affect the ignite itself, and thus it will inherit by the oil burning ground. So this 2 is actually helpful for our. This is damage and this is the duration. Oh, one thing, forget to mention that in order to use the Oil Grenade and Incinerate, you need to first have a crossbow and then a staff. Not necessarily stuff, but I think stuff is nice. For crossbow, we focus on physical damage. Add physical, increase physical, add fire also works. We also will leverage this gain extra as extra fire damage. So remember, that's how the oil ground works. It attach 150% of our fire damage to it. And if you look at the description, it also converts 100% of physical damage to fire damage. So essentially, it means it could be physical, it could be fire added damage, but that's really what matters in here. You don't have to get all this mod. I think you just have for leveling, get a start, just get a decent crossbow with add a fizz, add a fires, and you're good to go. For stuff, you don't have to use this stuff. I think this stuff will only available after 50 some level. And if you want to use this at 55, 55, 54, it's kind of expensive. So probably better switch to this after 60. The key thing here is flammability is just make it easier to start a fire, start an ignite. Ignite magnitude, this is a very nice one, which this directly add a multiplier. Remember the DPS formula? Add a multiplier to the our final DPS. Okay, now I want to talk about the 3 golden rules. In other words, 3 common things that cause this build not working. The first one is only Incinerate can ignite. So basically, you need to attach element focus to every other skill that potentially could deal damage. Embitters, Immolate could be used. This is also could avoid ignite. I would recommend as a start just to use 2 skill like Oil Grenade and Incinerate. That's all you need. The second is you need to immune to ignite. So how we achieve that is we use crystallized immunity, and you need to make sure the support socket gems are red. The red is a majority, and basically in the short word, you want to make sure you count the active gem. What is the active? What is inactive? Right? If you see something like this, like grayed out, this is inactive. Like this won't count to the total number of gem. Check the immune status. Is you press the C or character info, and you look for this section, element protection. So whether you see the immune to ignite will tell you that whether it's successfully activated or not. Next, the final rule is you cannot have a thrown damage. The gain actual fire damage will also work with thrown. So if you have thrown damage, it could also cause ignite. Okay, so I want to demo a couple of things. First is how do you start to play? So usually when I enter map, I just start to cast Element of Weakness because it's cost the mana a lot. I can only cast Incinerate once I fill this up, and I gain a few by spending mana, basically. So I cast a couple, and I walk to a mob, and then I cast the Oil Grenade, and then boom. After the initial setup, you're pretty much ready to go. The playstyle is really hit the dodge roll and another Oil Grenade attack, and as a loop. The reason for dodge roll is you want to activate the Mirage Archer, and as long as you have that activate and you're casting the Oil Grenade, everything in the screen should be burned. Notice that dodge roll is also a very nice source of evasion. It's interesting that we're armor build, we can tank a lot of hit, but the evasion or dodge is a nice to allow some buffer time for our Sorcerer Ward to recharge. For bossing is pretty much the same. So basically we get an Oil Grenade in the ground and we cast Incinerate. There are different techniques that can even scale our damage even further. The first is the Thunderstorm, which will add around 30% more. The second is the Element of Weakness. The third is swap the support gem to a more damage focused gem rather than utility. As you can see, our damage is more than enough. Okay, now that we already get started mapping and bossings, how do we proceed? How do we further scale and min-max this character? So to understand that, I want to talk about the usual topic, attack layers, defense layer, and resource sustain. Let's go. Okay, first we're going to talk about attack layer, and as you can see, this mechanism focus heavily on the attack. How this Ignite DPS calculate for this build. oil count, it means the number of oil ground you have. So if you keep casting oil grenade, or you have another source, a mirage archeries, or the cannons, it all counts as another oil ground, a direct multiplier to your damage. The second part is kind of like a base damage. The incinerated damage is very low, so you can pretty much ignore it. What's nice for the oil grenade is it will attach 150% of oil grenade's attack damage as fire damage, and to this oil ground, which makes sense for us to scale the damage for oil grenade. And then it will multiply by the magnitude. In here is the ignite magnitude. That's another thing that we will scale. And this magnitude, along with the compounding is a nice feature for incinerate. It's basically factors, and it will increase every, I think, 0.25 second. The nice thing about the magnitude and the compoundings is it will get a snapshot, which means the moment you ignite with incinerate, this thing will be fixed. And after you switch to oil grenade, you care about oil count, care about the grenade damage. All things will be fixed. Last but not least, in the formula, there's one more element, which is a faster element percentage. It's basically a direct multiplier, a more multiplier to the damage DPS. Given the damage formula, here is the plan. For our grenade, we focus on AoE cooldown. AoE give more coverage. Cooldown is more coverage, of course, but it's also smooth play. Second is attack damage, add a physical, fire damage, or increase fire damage. Percentage fire damage also works because the oil grenade will attach 150% of its attack fire damage to the ground. The third is the projectile speed. I actually kind of like this. So what I do is I put the project speed in the accelerist skill. So I put it in the Mirage Archer and also the cannon. So while I'm focusing on what's in my screen, so I can directly put it under my foot. Those skills will help me reach to the wider areas. And notice that I also put this projector accelerate 2, which have a 40% to pierce the enemy. I find that's useful because I don't want an enemy to stop the projectile. I want it to reach as far as possible. The third one is a fuse. So we use the short fuse. I use short fuse 2 in Oil Grenade. I also use short fuse 1 sometimes, and use short fuse 1 in for the support for the archer and for the cannon. It's because instant having oil ground created is just feel good, feel play very good, and it could also leverage the grenade have a percent of chance to activate the second time. So sometimes what happened is while the projectile is still flying, it will first explode once, and then if you trigger the second time chance, it will flow further and explode twice. So that's also nice, like because you kind of have one projectile and cover 2 area. For Incinerate, really this is flammability is just for faster start ignite. Ignite magnitude, this is the total damage. Faster element, this is the DPS, also the damage. Yeah, that's all we need in a gear and also in the skill tree. I want to add a screenshot of the skill tree here. So you can also find it in the description that demonstrate how the min-max works. So with the Weapon Master, we're able to have 2 total this skill tree. And the green one is for Oil Grenade, which focus on AoE cooldowns, attack damage, project speed, fuse. The red one focus on the flammabilities, ignite magnitude, elemental damage, faster element. Next, I want to talk about the resource layer and defense layer. Because the mechanism is super powerful, the DPS go to infinity, so we really don't have too much trouble here. For resource layer, all we care is the mana regen or the mana cost efficiency. So I got this in my Emanate and not Laviagas Brew. I also got a Timeless Juice. This is optional. I also used this unique mana flask, which give a nice mana recovery. It's always on, so it also enable us to use this during flask effect note in the passive skill tree. Next, I want to talk about the defense layer. So defense layer, I go with pure armor. Mostly because when I switched to this build, I honestly did not change our defense like leveling gear at all because the DPS is so high. So after I entering the map, I start to because it's a second character, I immediately go to the tier 15 and then die. So I immediately start to buy all the gear, and for me, I feel I never tried the pure armor character, so I would just want to give it a try. And the major thought here is the sorcerer ward. That's a very good skill, and it scale with either evasion or armor. You can go armor, you can go evasion, you can go both. So I end up choosing armor because it's cheap. I think for an end game super not super high budget, but if you want to keep scaling it, evasion probably is a better choice in this league. A lot of people is running evasion, and if you see armor build is not that much. However, I do think that armor offer higher max hit pool, which is also nice. So my playstyle is a pretty aggressive because for the mapping I want to speed it up. So what I usually do is I dodge roll into the middle of the pack. I drop grenade, I dodge out. And because the dodge also triggers the Mirage Archer, so it's also nice to cover the areas I didn't cover. In the gears, it's all pure armor gears with two exceptions. So I use a Brassstone for massive armors and the crit immunity. I think crit immunity is very important to not get one shot. I also use this Viper Cap, which enable a surrounding bonus. So what it does is it make your surrounding effect require less. So usually you need to have 5 monster near you to activate that. But with this, if you can get -4, then you only need 1 monster. So even with the boss, the surrounding passive skill tree will also be active. Surrounding node are located inside the green rectangle, and as you can see that they're pretty powerful. It has increased attack damage, has a movement speed, attack speed, a lot of effect. So having this, I think for me is really a utility, and having a dodge roll faster, move faster is also kind of like defense. Now let's take a look at the skill gem. So you can see that I have 16, 14, 14s. This is a total skill count. And in order to make this skill tree, to make this crystallized immunity work, you need to have your active gem and red become majority. And majority means it need to be the largest and the only largest. So strength is 16, intelligence is 16, it won't work. I end up, I have this weird setup. You can see I have a lot of red here for sure, but I have a lot of, honestly, a lot of decks, green gem, because originally I want to leverage this also. But then I give up. At least I don't have enough skill point right now, and I don't really think this is powerful. I mean, 5% increase is fun. Maybe the movement speed is the most things that I'm looking for. But anyway, so in this case, I actually have how many gems? So I actually have 16 minus 3 is 13. 14 minus 2 is 12. Right? I actually have 13 and 12. So here is the funny thing. Like if you look at this number, then you feel, oh, I can, let's say, I can get rid of one, right? I can get rid of one skill gem, and I'm still have 15 and 14, and my buff should be activated. But you're wrong, because now that the system will think your strength will become 15 minus 3. This is inactive. It's grayed out. 12, and then int is still 12. And then if you look at your element panel, there's nothing here, right? But if we add this back, immediately there will be show like immune to ignite. So a very easy way to check is just look at, open your character panel, look at element protection. There should be immune to the source that like the type of the immunity here. And I usually check both weapon set. Like I like to immune this to both weapon set. Yeah. Okay. This is a very useful trick that I do. That basically looks like the ground. There's a two color, right? This is because my incinerate. If you look at my incinerate, it has MTX, and change the color to this, right? So originally I was hoping that the burning ground will adapt to this color and become very cool. However, it will not. But for all the mobs that's killed by this ignite, it will show. You can see it will show the color that's the red color. So this is the a visual cue that I use to make sure I am using the right source of ignite, basically incinerate. Yeah. You don't have to do this, but this is just a little trick. First, so I'm in this mob. You can see that it doesn't have any shock. So if I cast the thunderstorm, you will first get a 30%, and then I use this skill, crossbow shot, it becomes 42%. Okay, so what's the mechanism behind this mini combo, thunderstorm and another hit skill? Let's take a look at our skill gem first. So the important thing for thunderstorm here is this two skill. One is overcharge, another is a commiserate. The shock conduction ensures shock because thunderstorm will drench the target. And shock conduction will shock drench the target 100%. The embitters ensure there's no ignite for thunderstorm. the storm fire add a addition 20% damage from the burning ground, which is really nice. So if you're lazy, you can just cast a thunderstorm, and it will last, I think, 13 seconds, and it will apply 30% shock effect. But if you wanna reach 42%, you can cast another skill, and here I use a crossbow shot. Okay, so how we reach 42 is in the crossbow shot skill, we also attach a shock conduction, which ensures shocking, and we also attach overcharge, which give ourselves shocking effect. And by having another skill apply shock effect to ourselves, we enable this skill in the thunderstorm commiserate. So somehow commiserate will start to realize, oh, actually, I am removing another source of the shocking element, so will be activating this 40% more. So that's how we get the final 40% more.